I'm so excited about this session. You have no idea. Hello, welcome in, everybody. Wait, and I have my spirit box on right now. Hold on. Okay, so go ahead and unmute. And I have no hair. So in case you were expecting all my hair, it's gone.
I have
Wait.
followed you. I'm not sure how to get this
You
video.
have. Okay, here, hold on. You got it? Oh, you got it. Ah, oh, everybody's here. Hi. Wow, everybody looks great. Everybody has wonderful jaw lines. I'm here for it already. Oh, and like all the hair, I'm hoping I'm gonna like live for that texture later on. So hopefully it ends
Oh,
up getting to that.
let
You
me
have the
tell
same?
you, you are,
What? Tell
I am your biggest fan.
me.
You
Shut
have no
up.
clue. I promise.
Really?
Yes.
I
I've
love
been
you.
following
Thank you.
you. Well, you literally sat down with Kaylee
I
and bought a
know.
book from her.
Yes.
And I swear,
Yes.
I was like, I'm just going to have to say that that was God's gift to me. And
There's
then,
that's exactly what that was.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Now, okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? So today, I mean, the car is only like 14 months old at this point, but the computer, there's a couple recalls because we got like a got what did we get? The loaded 3500 diesel, whatever it is, truck for like our ranch that we have, and the
Yeah.
computer just like went to shit. So we actually had to go in today, and I think my husband saw her to like drop it off. And so I got on here and I was like, that's a little weird, but I
Yeah.
like it. Like that's how it rolls. So I was just sitting here for a second, and remember, sorry, I have ADHD, and when I channel, my brain goes everywhere. So if y'all have any questions or anything like that, like please ask me everything. I'm here for you. I also want to let you know that I have my spirit box on. I am going to turn the volume off, and so if you see me looking at my phone, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just seeing if I can get anything on here, and I did just a second ago, which is cool. What? Tell me, do you use it?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you can use it.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Because it said earlier, I was like, I go, I can feel you. Where are you at? And then it said, I'm here. And I said, well, who are you? I said, you're a woman or a man? It said, man. I go, oh, okay. I said, so this is Isaiah. And then it said, yes. And I was like, okay. And so I also have my REM pods and everything on over here. I haven't gotten any hits yet, but that doesn't mean that as we start to connect and like build up the frequency or the energy, that doesn't happen. So just hang out. The other thing is that I was sitting here and I was like, is there anything that you really want to say to like your mom? Like, what is the biggest thing? And he like got in my body and I actually cried for like a minute. And he was like, can you just like tell her I'm just completely and utterly sorry? Maybe not in such a girl way, but it was more like just this my heart bleeds for you in a way. And it was just this overwhelming feeling. Then he brought up the feeling of like if this happened to my son, and he's talking about flipping through like when we're little kids. I mean, the whole thing, and how he knew that he was playing with fire, and he didn't necessarily care. And then because he thought it like didn't wasn't going to happen to him. And then he was also talking about how I guess you had seen, what was happening with it, or you had seen what was happening with all like the crazy stuff with like the drug epidemic or something like that, and you would mention it to him, but like he would just shrug
Right.
you off. Was that the thing?
The night before, I asked him, I said, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Mom, if you keep on asking me that, like, you're gonna hurt my feelings." Yeah, that night.
That night, because he gave me this thing. He's like, my mom knew she talked to me, and like I was just like, whatever, like I shrugged it off. And so that's his way of saying, I know about this. And then hold on, let me turn this off and let me put this over here. And then I'm gonna get all in a vibe. All right, putting it up here with the cup of justice. And hang on, where are you at? You're in here, aren't you? That's where you're at. What are you doing? Hold on. So these are all daughters?
No,
No, no,
I'm
aunt.
I'm mom.
You're
Sis is
yeah.
aunt.
Sis, that's aunt. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, that's that. Okay, because he goes like this. He was like, no, dumbass. He's like, aunt. I'm like, oh. I was like, y'all all look the exact same age. And why? Mm. There's a man with him. We have to figure out who that is in just a little bit. And it does feel older. It does feel like, obviously older than him, because there was this feeling of like putting his hand on him and saying like, I have him. We'll have to figure out who he is. He's probably in a higher vibrational state. Let's see where. hang on, Peter. Who are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hang on, give me a second. Give me a second. Interesting. He's discussing how. So y'all weren't going to church or anything like that at that point, correct?
We were, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, he's talking about that. I said, so how do you feel about like God, or how do you feel about Jesus, or how do you feel about religion, or how do you...
I was supposed to be waking him up for church the
For
next.
church? That's the church thing, because he goes like this. He says, didn't go to church, didn't go to church, so he couldn't go to church because he passed. And he says that. Tell me why. I would. And then y'all, I know this is a stupid question, but sometimes we do in order to find comfort. You ended up not going to church that day, though, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He had
Okay,
just rededicated his life the Monday before with our pastor. And so he told me the last words that he said to me was that he loved me. He was going to brush his teeth, take a shower, and to wake him up for church in the morning.
there you go. Okay, so that's why he's recognizing that. And why? Tell me. So he's sorry that he didn't go to church. I've met people that their loved one has died like Sunday morning, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's my family. I have to go as soon as the coroner leaves." Like that's the whole thing. And who? No, you're not. You are not that tall. He was probably what? Maybe 5'9"? How tall was he? 5'10"?
6 foot.
Maybe. He
Six.
was 6 foot. Okay, because he's standing up right next to me. I'm 5'11", and I'm like, "Are you? Are you?" Yeah. Okay, so we are. And why? He's like bumping heads with me. Where? That's the whole feet. I remember the biggest thing of when I was talking to Kaylee was the feeling of the feet and the blue feet. Like that was such. Hold on. Yeah. So do y'all go over to? Y'all go to Lake of the Pines though, right? Is that where you go? No. Okay.
A lake.
I don't.
Like
Yeah.
we have Lake Hawkins that we go to, or we've been to. Chrissy lives. She has a lake house at Lake Moss that we
Oh,
did.
see, I don't know where those are at. Oh,
So
okay.
Hawkins is right down the street, but Lake Moss is it's up near Gainesville. And we did his
Dang.
year anniversary of his passing there. Yeah.
At the lake. Okay, okay. See, I'm new to the, well, my mom's from Marshall, but I moved to East Texas and I haven't been everywhere. I normally do the ghost towns that are like no longer towns instead of the
Yeah.
real ones. And he went through and he said, he goes, lake, lake. I go, what? And he says, no, no, no. More people, not private. He says bigger. And I'm like, all right, so not Lake Cherokee, not Martins Creek Lake, maybe. And he says it's not Caddo. So I'm like, maybe Lake of the Pines? I don't
And
know. So
he fished a lot
He
when I
loved the
before
lake.
like loved the
really?
yeah.
Okay, so that's why. So he's bringing all that up together, and then where are you at? Oh, did you? Hang on. Oh no, now he's showing me pictures as a little boy. So he would go fishing as a little boy too, or like a very, very young. Okay. And who? He was never heavy set in my brain. He just keeps showing me. So he was pretty active in my head. Hang on. What are you doing? Where? What? He's wearing a navy blue shirt, which means he can get sad. Who? Wrist what? What does that mean? Hold on.
what?
I don't think he has anything on his wrist. Hang on. Where? What does that mean? Now he's playing country music. Hang on, give me a second. Do y'all don't go to concerts a lot though? Like none of that, correct? That's not a thing. Yeah, okay.
We've
Okay.
been to concerts, yeah.
You have. Okay, he's showing me a rubber wristband and then he's showing me like if that goes for like what is that about?
Your rubber My rubber
Oh,
wristband has 32, which was his sports number, and they had it
yes,
made.
that's what it That's what that is. Thank you. So he's referencing things that I know. And when you go into like concerts, they give you a rubber, well, the ones that I've been to, they give you a rubber wristband, and
But
that would
he
be why.
also, we have these bracelets that he had on that it's for oceans. So they take plastic out of the ocean and make bracelets with
Oh,
it. He had
oh, that's cool.
one of those on.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, he keeps saying, he says, me. And I go, what is it? I said, is it silver? Is it gold? Is it what?
He
Huh.
also had a watch that was stolen whenever he passed. There was a watch that was stolen and we got it back.
Oh my God. Well, let's see. Hold on. Don't tell me what it is. Let's see if he can like build that up. Now, mind you, okay, so let me tell you, usually I do an introduction here, but I'm just rolling into it. But I'll give for your aunt and everybody, I want to tell you. So when they come through and they talk, the only way that they can communicate is by using things that I have personally seen, felt, and experienced and done. Okay. So remember, I was born in 1988. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm obviously a woman, right? And I've only been out here for like, what, 3 years. So remember, I'm limited by that, but that's also my job to go out and see, feel, experience, and do everything so they can pick that out and use that as like an encyclopedia. When they talk in signs and symbols. So they may show me something like a pineapple. That means that they're from Florida. They'll put all these symbols in a line and that'll create a sentence. He's not necessarily doing that. That's more of like a super high vibrational thing. Then they talk in feelings, which is what he's doing. So feelings can be like he'll bring up the feeling in me of when I took my dad off life support. So therefore I know that somebody was taken off life support, like stuff like that. That also goes with like just the whole gamut. The last two things are that they will try to take anything that I've ever seen, done, felt, read, experienced, social media, you name it, and they will kind of smash it together to try to talk about their life, your life, or what your life will be like. And the last thing is words. So sometimes they will literally just pull words in my head and I will tell you what it is. Names can sometimes be difficult because I don't know every single name, right? I haven't heard them all. So sometimes if like they say, Janice, it may not be that there's a Janice, it may be that there's a Jan, right? But I know a Janice. I don't know any Jans, so that's as close as they can get.
Yeah.
Okay. And so hold on, let me go back over here. What? What about Otto? So he did have his own car though?
Yeah.
Okay. I said, who's Otto? I said, are you sharing somebody's car or what? He said, I had my own car. Shit. I said, okay. That exactly like that. I go, okay, chill, bro. And then he's making me feel, hold on. It just takes a second. Where? And you haven't gotten rid of the car yet?
No, we did. Yeah.
Oh no. He goes like this. He says, I'm still driving it. I'm still driving it. I go, okay. I was like, well, maybe it's here. Maybe you haven't gotten rid of it. So just know that he's still driving it on the other side of my brain, apparently. And why? Mm, hang on. What were you gonna do? And how did you get into this mess? Hang on. He is trying to put music in my brain, but I haven't listened to music in such a long time. And so I have like stuff from like 10 years ago. Um, hold on. Where? He's referencing Houston, which is interesting. Hang on.
Wow.
What is that
Houston
about?
Houston rap. So we have some family. Well, we say they're family, but we have, my husband had a music studio, basically a label, and we had Houston rappers that came in and became some of our greatest friends. ES,
That is
ESG
why.
is one of them. Yeah. So that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So do you see how he was talking about music and he's trying to
Yeah.
put it in my brain? And he was like, okay. And he's like, all right, dumbass. He's like, you're from Houston. Talk about this. Big deal correlates. So that's how that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
And why? Where? What? What does that mean? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. He's trying to talk about, who are you talking about? He's touching my head. He's making me feel this. What does this mean? Hold on. But it's weird. He's talking about the ant when he's applying this. So, and you're like, what does this mean? I don't know yet. Hang on. Give me a second.
This aunt?
No, no migraines. Hold on. No head trauma, no balding, no, hold on. Give me a second. That's weird. There's nobody that has like, there's not like a genetic thing where people have like dormant aneurysms in your family.
I was about to say, I wonder if it's me because right after he passed, I went in for a brain aneurysm
Wow.
in Houston.
Do you see that? That's how they talk. That's the only way they can talk. Yeah, he knows about that. He knows about that. And he says, and did you not get it fully cut out, or is there another one?
It disappeared.
It
They couldn't find
disappeared.
it.
Ah,
And
okay,
they
okay.
like left me in there because he like left me, the doctor did, and like ran out to tell my mom, and he said, "I'm sorry, I just abandoned you. I just don't ever get to tell people that that happened."
Oh my God, that's amazing. What a miracle thing. Let me tell you, that probably goes because of him.
That's
That's
we
what
literally
we were saying,
prayed.
was that he was gonna watch over me, that it would just go away.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. He's touching the back of my head, and I have a scar that runs from the back of my head down like to like right here on my neck, and he's commenting on that. And I said, "Did she have like trauma?" And then he's bringing up people I've read that have had aneurysms, and he says like genetic. And so I would even say down the line too, maybe this could also run with like your daughter. This could also run with another family member. So I would say too, look out for it. But no, he would also like your people would have been the ones to take that away.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's how that works. Good job. Hold on. Oh, it just said proud. So he's like, I'm proud of it. Okay, very proud of it. I'm also going to tell you, I know this is going to sound really weird right now, but it could be, maybe this is a little too early for this, but the way he's showing it, it could be that one of the reasons why he ended up passing was to save you from that. That may be one of the reasons. Part of it, like he got very close. Now we don't always know why, right? What is the whole point? Maybe you, because you're finding this, you now can save somebody else in your family, right? So instead of just being you that, three people that goes, he just went so he would sacrifice himself, but he didn't know exactly why at that moment. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's just wait and see. But he definitely loves you and he's very proud of it. And he's like, I did a thing. And why? And I'm very happy you're here. Tell me, you really like Houston. Hang on. He's trying to play, I guess for me, when I think of Houston rap, I think of Chopped and Screwed. And like,
Yes.
that's that. Really?
That's
Okay.
that's the whole. So ESG was with DJ Screw, which was all the Chopped and Screw. So
Oh, that's why.
like that
Okay.
literally is like
Uh-huh. Because
I wanted to have them for his senior pictures. I asked him if he wanted to go down there and take pictures with them. He was like, "No, all my friends think I'm gangster."
Yeah, well, that's okay. He's gangster now. I grew up gangster, half gangster, so don't worry about it. Yeah, and he goes like that. He just makes me hear a blah 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 blah. I can't even make the sounds, and I'm like, all right. And it just said hero. So he's very proud. I would have to say yes. Everything I just told you about this, 1,000%. Okay, and why? Why are you showing me swallows? Split tail swallows. Oh, what is that about?
No, my cousin asked me when I got a tattoo, and I had it done, I'm pretty sure before Isaiah passed, if I cared what kind of bird, and I asked him what he wanted to put, and he put I think it's a sparrow, but he asked me if I could do either a swallow or a sparrow, and I just said it's fine, either one. And
There you go.
I had his name put underneath it after he died.
There you go. There you go. That's what that is. Good job. Yeah, he just showed me a bird that's about this big flying, and then he had a swallow and he made the tail go like that. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, so he's all about you right now. He loves his mama, but he adores you. Tell me. I know you took it very, very hard. I would too. And tell me, what? So this is your Isaiah. He's been following me around now for like 2 weeks. He's popped up on my box and who is Isaiah? Like, where is he going to come from? It's been your son again. And where? What are you doing? Oh, so it went out. Yes, yes. Okay, we'll have to go back and watch it. Good job. Good job. Okay, so he didn't finish college though here in physical?
He did.
He did. Okay, that's it. Okay, because he goes like this. He says he kept, that's what that was highlighting for. He says, I'm continuing my education, or I'm continuing college, or I'm getting more. And I'm like, okay, what is that about?
Had to ask questions. So he had just graduated from barber school and he had just passed that stupid ass test that they make you do that you're like an electrician. And he got a ticket on the way to celebrate, to come and see me because I was so excited. He took the test like 4 times. But I asked on the questions, are you doing hair in heaven?
Yes. Well, that's also why, that's probably why he's touching this. Oh my God, it's so funny. I shaved my head today and I didn't do it with a mirror or anything like that. And I was like, weird. I've never done that before. So it may be that he was around like helping me with that. Yes. And so he is absolutely doing hair in heaven. He's like continuing this education, or he's continuing to do this and he's enjoying it. And so oh, man, if he would have stayed around, he would have been like one of those like famous like TikTok or YouTube barbers, like all the way that goes from like, oh my God, you look like a nerd to like popping it off. And what is that about?
Just watching this guy that's a barber in
Yeah.
New York, and it's terrible. But he's becoming
Yes.
famous for how terrible he is. We were literally just
Yeah.
See, that would be why. And then he says, where? Cat Odin.
Cat.
Yeah, it said cat. It said cat, and then it said, what is that? Who's that?
some
Your
cat.
cat. Really? So now he's saying his name. Good. Are you saying your name? Hold on. Tell me. Where? So where? So what are you doing now? He likes coming over here. Coming over here? He lived here though, didn't he?
He
Yeah.
came over to
Yeah.
my house. He lived with me like 3 times in his life.
He lived with you, and okay, that's why.
And
Okay, because
I
he could.
have my own salon, and he would come up there when he was having a bad day and make me color his hair.
Oh, no wonder, no wonder. And then with that, he was doing like color, not just like blonde or
Right.
brown or
No,
okay.
right.
Yeah,
And
okay, because he's like crazy. And I'm like, oh, okay. And where? What are you doing? He's wearing, what is that? You have fuzzy legs.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he just showed me an image of laying on his bed and he showed me his leg hair. So he's like trying to show me what his soul saw. And it's a little morbid, but like it's after he passed. And then he's talking about how when. So, but he wasn't wearing pants when he passed. He was wearing shorts at that point. Ah, those are short. Yeah, there you go. That's why we're bringing that up. Good job. Good job.
And you
Yeah.
said feet earlier, and
Yes.
we not only did we look at our feet before this, but
we were
that was
talking
the
about his
last
feet.
thing. That was the last thing that I held on to before before they took me away from
They
him.
took him away.
And we were just talking about his feet because
His
he had a
feet.
broken toe.
And he called himself Crip.
He called himself the broken toe.
That's why. That's why. Okay, so that's exactly why. So he was showing me that before the session as well. He kept showing me this image of like, so picture this as a foot, like holding, touching. I don't know if you actually did kiss
I
them,
did.
but like you did. Okay, so that would be that. So he knows about that, and he was outside of his body watching this, and so there's a deep apology for that. And so do you see how he brings my mind? He shows me hairy legs, then he shows me pants, he shows me laying down. That's how, or shorts. That's how it gets to that. So you have that. All of this is correlated. And why? December. Okay, hold on. What about December? That's Christmas, duh. Is there like a sibling or a cousin that has like a December birthday, or is there something to do that?
My daughter.
There you go. Good job. Okay, because he says, and so your daughter's not here though right now, correct? That one? Okay, so he says like, hi, tell my cousin I said hi. I go, okay, good, I will. And why? M what? Mm. Who is the Aquarius? Or the very end of January? Who's that? Sorry, February, very end of January.
There we have Desi, who is my
Doesn't know.
other son's best friend, but she's moved in since.
Oh.
They do stay upstairs in the apartment. So Desi, her birthday is February the 5th, I believe.
Uh-huh, that's the Aquarius. Okay. So he went through and he said, "Oh, finally, there's somebody as quirky as me." And I said, "What do you mean quirky?" And then he went through and every single person I ever meet that's an Aquarius, they're like, "Ha," or like they're interesting, or they can be very eclectic on the inside, or they can also be very shy depending on how they were treated growing up. And so I would have to say that he's not only acknowledging that, like this is here and it's changed, but also that he hangs around them. Okay. And why? And so Desi does help out around the house and stuff like that, or like they do a good job with that, or what is that?
Been a topic.
Not really, but
It's been a
we
topic.
can't say it very loud.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's I cook.
Oh,
She
yeah.
does. She cooks. She's very good cook.
Yes, okay. Because they go like this. He goes, well, something help around the house like
Maybe.
that. And then he,
Maybe she
uh-huh. Yeah, uh-huh. Well, and then he made a comment of like, I don't know if he made a comment of my mom hires a maid or my mom is not the maid or like whatever this is. So like there's a double entendre there. It's just like maybe she is. Maybe we need to help her. Yeah. So he knows. He knows. And why? Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. So there's a security system on your home right now?
There is, but it doesn't work very well.
Doesn't it make that sound when you open the doors?
Uh-uh.
That's why.
Interesting. So you do have one though. Interesting. Hold on. Okay, so that would be one of two things. One, are you not on acreage right now? Are you morely like in like a nice like neighborhood then?
Yeah, neighborhood, yeah.
Okay, because I go like this. I said, she lives out in the middle of nowhere. I said, I leave my doors unlocked all the time. And he's like, no, dumbass, they can't do that. And I was like, okay, why? He's talking to me. And I said, well, we all probably live out in the country. And I'm going to even tell you one, maybe you need to get that checked. Or maybe you need to get it reinstated. It could be that coming up, there's somebody that I mean, I know we all have guns, right? So they'll meet a happy goodbye. But, before that, I would say maybe get that checked.
We've had some issues, but we've started, it hasn't been set. Something's going on with the doors. So he's probably saying that. It was beeping this morning.
It does need to get fixed.
Then that's what that is. Okay, so he's making note of like issues, and the only way that he can take that or show me that is by making me hear something common that I've heard before in the past, right?
Yeah.
So that's what. And then what? Mom. Yes. What about mom? So mom, why are you saying where is your what? Where's your what? So he just said an MA. That is either May or March. I don't know why it's hard for them to go through with that.
March.
Yeah. Are you like a Aries Pisces or like what is that? Who's the end of March?
And well, Owen and Jalen are the 1st of March, 1st and 2nd.
First of,
So
okay, so
Owen-
that's the beginning.
And so Jalen, his brother, is the 1st, and then Owen, his son, is the 2nd.
That's why. Okay, thank you. Yeah, he goes March, and he goes, and I'm like, maybe that's end. I would have to say it means like 1 and 2 or 2nd. And tell me how. So we still have Owen around right now.
Yes.
Good. Okay. I said, where is Owen? Is Owen with mom? Like, do we not get to see him? That's what usually is the case, especially with like boy moms, right? That's just what happens normally. And he's like, absolutely not. And I'm like, okay, good. And so he's saying that he still sees him and like he's still around him. And I said, good. But he ended up only having one kid.
He had one, but he also had one that passed away in almost like his arms, Leia.
Really? That's the girl. Okay, that's that. Okay, because he goes like this. He goes, "Oh, I should have had a girl." And I was like, "Oh, does that mean that you wanted to have two kids?" And he says, "No, but I only have one here in physical." So I would say that he has met Leia on the other side and they're together and they watch Owen.
I specifically asked about Leia and I if he had found her there, and does he get to see Owen growing?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's it. So all these things, remember, you're asking these questions, right? You're putting in your brain. The reason why you're asking is because he's been trying to tell you these things as well. And so now there's this opportunity to kind of like transfer this information. So he's going to try to move my brain in all sorts of different directions to try to answer this for you every time. And how you just showed me blue. Okay. And one. Hold on. Wow. Hold on. He's wanting to talk about passing. We already know why, but give me a second. Hang on. I hear you saying, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?" Hang on. Hold on. Where? So he was like dating somebody at that point, though? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's talking about the sadness coming from this partner, this dating person. Were they like semi moved in, but like not all the way?
She was here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
She was here.
Because he's making me hear like that. So there's like panic or whatever it is, and he says sadness, and he's like apologizing to this and or apologizing to her, and then he's apologizing.
Maybe Leia. I don't know about the girlfriend because
She was not good.
so
She was not good. No, that's okay.
the girlfriend wasn't good, but Leia, he actually, so with him talking about that, he was watching her and he laid her down. She was 8 months old, and
He didn't know what to do.
he walked in and found her in the crib and she was blue and he didn't know what to do.
That's
He
why.
called 911 and he did CPR, and she wasn't his actual daughter, but he always said she was his daughter.
It
And
still is.
yeah, and that is really what
Look.
led.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Can you walk away? Good job. That's the highest it can go. Come over here to the front. Thank you. There you go. Good job. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So he's with Leia. He has Leia. That's exactly what he was trying to make me hear. He was trying to make me hear that, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then the woman involved, all of that stuff. So he's trying to repeat that and give a memory. And so essentially, she didn't have a heart condition or anything at that point. Did she just like passive SIDS? Is that what it was, or what we believe it was?
She had a epileptic, what was it? No, she had a suffocational seizure. And
Oh, okay.
find that out until after he had passed, like 2 or 3 days. His friend that ended up dating the girlfriend told us. He came over and told us, and I'm like,
He never could deal with her
Yeah, he
passing.
never recovered.
He
That was
never-
a year before he died, and he was suffered for so long trying
He
to
had-
figure it out.
he had
That's
some
why.
depression. Yeah.
That's why. That's why. That's why this is such a big deal. So he's saying, I found her. It's good. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. And then he went through and he said, she just couldn't breathe. She just couldn't breathe. And I was like, well, what is it? He says, nothing was covering her face. And I'm like, okay, I have people like, they roll into the corner or they roll into pillows or whatever it is. And he says, no, I've never heard of an epileptic seizure like that for passing. So that's new for me in my brain. And how? Oh, what? Hang on. Oh my God. He's literally showing me the most beautiful picture of what would be him holding this baby and going like that and like smiling at the same time. And so he's saying, like, I found her, we're good. And then with him, did he end up getting like her name tattooed on him? Like, did we go that far?
No,
Or
he
what?
was going to. He had
Yeah.
Owen tattooed right here.
Owen is there. Okay, yeah, he was showing me his arm and he went through and he put that. Okay, so he has that as well. So he's probably talking about Owen with that too. Tell me where, what was going on? Hang on. But no, he wasn't going to therapy or anything like that at that point, correct? Like when he passed?
No,
No,
no.
that's okay. That's okay. I said, so what was going on? Were you in therapy? I know depression. I said your mom and your family are very proactive, and he was like, nah. I go,
He
okay. And then what was that?
he went to basically like he did go to a mental hospital,
Okay.
and he asked to go, and he was there for like 7 days, and they put him on a bunch of medications. So ultimately, he had a pill that was laced with fentanyl and Lexapro that were combined and caused a serotonin intoxication.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's why that's there. I have never heard of that before. That is a completely new. Oh, I said, I've never heard of that thing. It said, it's a thing. So he's like adding this over here. He's very literal in my brain. Tell me. So where? When? There's not a Jesse or a Jess, right? Or a J-E name.
J-A-E. We call
J.
Jalen J.
Oh, you
Call
call who's
Jalen
Jalen again?
my son or his brother Jay.
That's J. Okay, so that's J. Okay, because he keeps saying J, and I'm like, Jesse, is that it? And tell me, he follows him around all the time. The Jay was younger than him, correct? Okay, because he says, I have to keep an eye on him. I have to make sure that he stays, straight, essentially. I said, okay, good. I'll let him know. And what are you doing? Where are you jumping in at? So your lake house, the house that you have on the lake, like that actively has like a boat ramp and stuff going off of it? Okay, because he just did a cannonball in water in my brain. And I don't think that was his normal thing, but he's saying like, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. I like being at your lake house. Like this is a whole vibe for me. And he's saying, it doesn't matter anymore. And oh, did you ever have a lab? Did you have a lab?
We did.
No. You did. Okay, you did. Okay, he just went through and he said, I'm here on like this boat dock with this lab, and we're all like there having this party. And I go, oh, okay, good. Yeah.
The
So we have like
neighbor had a lab there too.
that would be why. That's the significance of that. And if you get along with the neighbor, that would probably be where that's at. And tell me, who? Where? Boy, what are you saying? He's cool because he feels older than what he is. He was what, maybe? He says he's an older Gen Z. So he was what, like 28? How old was he when he passed?
He felt like he was 28. He was 20.
He's so, oh my God. Yeah. He doesn't feel, I said, how old are you? I said, you must be like 30. I said, you've been through so much. And he was like, absolutely not. And he says, Gen Z, Gen Z. And I'm like, really? Is that a thing? And so he's 20. My God, he lived. No wonder that poor boy couldn't. This makes perfect sense now. Hold on. Just said haze. With like, did he not like weed?
He loved it.
Because he goes like this. He says, I can't do weed. I can't do weed. And it may be that he can't do weed there, or he can't feel weird there.
Supposed to. He wasn't supposed to. So he wasn't getting to see Owen because he wasn't supposed to, because his baby mama and Owen, he wasn't supposed to smoke weed, but he said that that's the only thing that would get him through dealing with Leia.
That's what I was asking. That's why I was like, why are you not doing this? And he says, I can't. And I'm like, why? That's stupid. It's because of that. Okay, see, I've never had that drama before. So I'm like, why? And hold on. I think he may hang out with my brother-in-law. Is there anything to do with like a Richard or like a Ricky? Just a question on that. Just because he brought him up and his name is Richard, you can tell me no, but that could either mean that he hangs out with him when he smokes, or that could just mean that there is a Richard or a Ricky or something involved. You can say no.
I mean, we used to have a friend named Richie that they would smoke together.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have to say that's probably that maybe where that's coming from, because that's his
We
name.
haven't
So
talked
he's
to him in years, but that's
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, so he's probably talking about that. And then tell me, go back with her. Hang on. So what about your mommy? Hold on. Someone's trying to talk about something about nose. Hang on. Did he like want to get his nose pierced at one point, but nobody would let him? Or like, nobody has their nose pierced? What is that?
I have my nose pierced.
That.
I think he had,
Yeah.
he had his nose pierced.
Did he really? Okay, he's making me feel pressure right here, or where I've never had a septum piercing, and so that's the only way he
Yeah,
can do it.
this
So,
part right here. It was this part. That's where I have mine.
yes. What happened with that nose ring? Where'd it go? Thank you. I know. What happened with all that? What
Didn't
happened
have
with his
it
piercing
in.
stuff?
He didn't
Not at
have
that
it.
point.
Now we
Okay.
have his
That-
earrings.
You have that's what all this is about. Thank you. And he didn't have like plugs though. He had like
Diamond.
regular earrings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's where he's going with that. And thank you. And nobody wears them?
No,
Oh.
I
Somebody
keep
should.
You should.
Okay, well, I asked him, that was one of the things, tell us if there was something that he would want us to do, or,
Something to honor him.
yes.
Yes, I would say wear them. He went there and he's talking about this. Then you're talking about earrings and he grabs my ear and I have like diamond studs in. That's the whole thing. And then he says like, why just keep them in a box? You're not going to lose them. You know, like that. And so when you're wearing that, you're wearing a piece of him with you everywhere. And why? Why would you have that? Did he get in? He didn't get in fights in high school a lot, right?
Yeah.
Did he really? Okay, he's making me feel a black eye. That for me means like fighting, and he says like younger. What was that about?
No, I mean, up till him and Dad my husband was a Golden Glove boxer before and trained him like in jujitsu and boxing.
Wow.
And he normally in high school, he would take up for kids that were being bullied, and he would fight that way. But he got into a fight in Tatum with a bunch of kids.
Well, while you're telling me that story, I'm like, yeah, sure. And he goes like this.
It's true. He was
Okay,
great.
so continue.
In August, before he passed, a guy came to our house, and it was considered mutual combat because my husband had gotten into an argument on Facebook over LeBron James, out of all things. And he shows up to our house the next day. My husband had apologized and was all like, dude, I just got out of church. I feel convicted. I'm sorry. And the guy ends up saying he's 100 yards away from our house. And so they end up getting into a fight, and he brings somebody else too. Anyways, Isaiah ends up going and head kicking the guy like twice in the head barefoot. Another
Stop.
question. Yeah, knocked him out cold.
Oh my God, good job.
Yeah, a grown man kicked him with his foot.
Wow. Okay, so that would be why, because he went through and he's talking about that. And I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, is he like a gang? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. And so so he's making me remember memories. So that is why. He keeps saying it's true. And then where? Yeah, he's still actively in your home. It's not a bad thing. He's with God. He goes back and forth. Have you not? So in his room though, he has like the open close closet door. It's not the slide, right?
He doesn't have a closet door. His
Doesn't
door
what
stays
is-
open and it doesn't have a door
His
handle
closet
on it.
is in his room. It's just part of the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
His room has a door that's never had a door handle on it. It's just an open bore. And
yeah.
it just stays kind of open.
But his wall has like clothes, like kind of like you'd go shopping and has clothes racks along the wall.
Yeah.
So
That's why he said, okay, so he's going through and he goes like this. I said, do you do anything since you're here a lot? I said, is there something about like opening a door or something? And he goes, no, I can't really open a door. I said, what about in your room? What about your closet? He was like, no, it's either, he gave me the feeling of like, it's too difficult. And clearly if you don't have a door, then that means you can't do that. I've never seen that before. And he's talking about how, why? Hold on. He's trying to describe what? Hold on. Hang on. But Dad's mom, your husband's mom is still alive though, correct?
He lives with it.
That's why he goes like this. He says, I like to go and be around. I said, what? And I called my grandmother Nanny. And I said,
She's Grammy.
Grammy. That's very close. Okay, good, good, good. And he says that I like to go and see her. I like to go be with her. I said, oh, okay, good. And then he's talking about how, who was your, do you, is your husband like the golden child of his family?
Yes.
Yay!
ask
Yes.
any of them.
The baby. The baby.
That's why. Okay, because he goes like this. He's talking about like, and I guess obviously some of his grandparents or something are crossed, and he's talking about how your son says he's still the golden child here in heaven for like his family members, and they still think that he's amazing here on earth. And he's like, oh God, I got to sit here and listen to it all the time. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so it's just
his
like what
dad.
you're.
That's gotta be his dad there.
That would be why. That would be why. And tell me, what about him? So him and his dad were really close?
They were pretty close. That was Big Pops. Yeah.
That, okay, okay. Because I said, what do you think about him? I said, obviously, mommies love their boys. I said, what about like dad? Was it okay? He was like, he's cool. He's cool. He's good. He's good. And with him, God, he showed me with like a big nose. Hang on. What about it? Hold on. I know that's random. Hold on. That usually means another symbol. His dad didn't suffer from like cholesterol or heart issues though, correct?
No, but he has a big nose.
He
Dad,
does.
not Rusty.
I know.
Rusty.
Rusty says he has.
He
a
has heart.
He has heart.
issues.
He's talking about his dad. Talking about Rusty.
Ah,
Dad-
Rusty has heart conditions. Okay, so his grandfather had a big nose, so Rusty's dad had a big nose, that's it. And then he says, like, watch out for heart conditions, or watch out for cholesterol issues, or watch out for this here. So Rusty has those right now?
Rusty, well, he almost passed whenever Isaiah was in the 8th grade. Yeah,
He's talking about a male.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he had what's it called? AFib.
AFib.
We were living in Dallas with Chrissy, and we lived in Denton, and his heart basically went into AFib and couldn't get out of it. It was enlarged to half of his chest, and we ended up moving back here because we still had our home here. But since then we've been in much better shape and taking care of ourselves and stuff to monitor and watch that and stuff.
Good, good. Okay, yeah, nobody's dying. He's just trying to bring out things that are unique to people. And so that's what that is, to try to let you know that's there. So no,
the
there's
funny
no,
part is his nose is very distinct. He always says it's
is it?
yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, he went through and he showed me a picture of obviously some face I've seen somewhere that has a really big nose, not ugly or anything like that, but then he made it red, and that for me goes along. I don't think he has a red nose, but that for me goes along with like heart or chest, because a lot of time if you have heart issues or blood pressure issues, your face gets red because your capillaries, it's getting too much blood pushed.
I wonder, so there was a picture when he had the heart issues.
Mhm.
When took one of those old tins pictures or whatever, and
Tin
that
Yeah.
that sits in, and if you walk out of his room, that picture
Mhm.
of his dad is sitting right there. Whenever he passed, he was
Yeah.
living in his own apartment, and Chrissy
Yeah.
went over to get him, and he came down the stairs, and he was like, "Wait a second, I need you to get one more thing out of there for me." Hit the
Yeah.
picture of my dad, and it was that picture.
Ah, okay, okay.
Hold on, wait, and he's
That
a hero,
what?
and he told her that was his hero. His dad was his hero.
Really? Oh, so yeah, so absolutely, absolutely. Oh, it said it matters. It matters. So I would have to say that goes along with the picture as well. So what happened? Do we not have that picture up right now on the wall?
Still there, yes.
Ah, good. Okay, good, good. Because he goes like this. He says, "Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up." And I said, "Okay, I'll let them know that." And then tell me about you. Why didn't you go into sound engineering? You have like ADHD. That would have like saved your ass. Hang on. He should have gone into editing. He should have done something like that too. I mean, he's really artistic, not autistic, but like, my God, to like keep his brain going. That's why he did hair, because it was good. And
He drew
hang
a
on,
lot.
It would come to my mind
that
with paint.
he
Yeah.
would paint, yeah, because he keeps talking about he says, "Oh, I can do anything. I could have been online. I could have done this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And
Did
he
he
says
say a
that now.
sound engineer?
Yeah, yeah. He just went through and he made me hear a and then he's showing me like the buttons that go up and down. I don't know what they call that thing.
Could
And
not have been
so
an answer, that's for sure.
so that would be why. So I would have to say going behind the scenes more. And tell me, why are you showing me 2016? Hang on. Give me a second. You were like 12. No, he was what, 14 in 2016?
No, he was 03, so he was 13.
He was start okay. I'm okay. I'm close with that. That's good, good, good. Okay, because he says, "No, I was a little bit older." I'm like, maybe he's 14. And hold on. He got offended a little bit. What about it? Hang on. So when he was a sophomore in high school, he was already breaking hearts and stuff like that at that point.
His heart was broke by Daisy.
Why? Oh.
Yeah, she cheated on him. But they
Oh.
got back together though. They got back together.
That's baby mama.
Yeah, that's Owen.
That's who that is. Okay, he's making a big deal, and he says he just made me hear all my emo music that I used to listen to back in like 2006, and I'm like, you don't even know what that is. Shut up. And he's like, no, 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 and he's like, cross my wrists and black my eyes, like all that. I'm like, oh, you were having hearts broken, or you were doing it. And who? Oh, it's interesting. My last client yesterday, her name was Daisy, so that's kind of like a cool little thing. And Daisy May, hold on, where? What? What about Owen again? Owen. Is that next month? Or are you talking about this is last or back to make me feel? Hang on. We're in August. So was Owen's birthday like last month or like 2 months ago? When was Owen's? Oh, Owen's birthday was March. That's what that was. Okay, thank you. And then y'all ended up having like a decent sized birthday party for him though, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Okay, he's going, happy birthday to you. Happy. And he shows me balloons and everything like that. I go, good. So he's just saying that I was there. I was around. I saw this. And why? Hold on. So did we end up getting Owen? And Owen already has like an iPad. Like he's already there. He already has that. Okay. Okay.
We
I
got
said
him that
when
for
when
Christmas.
that's why. Okay. Okay. Because he says, oh, iPad or oh, iMac or Apple. And I go, okay, good. And so he knows about this. And then he's talking about how, where? He says he didn't really have time to get lost in video games. I guess he tried, but maybe he was just like busy. I mean,
He loved video games.
yeah, he put headphones on and then he put a microphone thing on and then I was like, how do you do it as a kid? How does that work? And so I would say play video games in honor of him. Or what happened with his computer? Did we end up just putting it up or is it just like still in his room? What happened with that?
Okay, so he played the PS5 or PS4,
That's why. Uh-huh.
and his headphones are still in the bedroom with that. And
Yeah.
his cousin took the TV off the wall.
Oh,
Old game console.
But you do?
It's just sitting. It's been in Caden's room. Remember, you gave it to me, and Caden, I bought him another one. It's been sitting there. The white one.
No, he has there's a black one that he was playing. That was in it. That's in his room actually.
that's
But
still
he
in his
has
room.
the little piece that goes on there and everything.
Uh-huh. So I would say a couple, he says, oh, they left it. Oh, they left it. And then he talks about putting something down, and that would be the TV coming down. And he says, but I'm still in there and I play. So I would also, just FYI, do you have it plugged in at all? Do you have the PlayStation plugged in?
Well, we moved it into the other room. Remember when
Uh-huh.
it came on
Okay.
and it was his
That's what I was gonna ask.
his PlayStation came on with Keenan, her son, his cousin, and his screen was him flipping the
Ah! Yes. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so this is let me tell you this. If you ended up like if y'all wanted to do something one day or one night when like the world is quiet and all the kids are in bed, you could light a candle, you could get his picture, you could get some of the things that he loves, like his short and all this stuff. And then you could put on the PlayStation. I mean, just plug it in, don't turn it on. Leave kind of like the remote in the middle of the circle and say, okay, we're going to give you some focus. I'm going to give you some love. And I want you to turn this on. And PlayStations are very easy for spirits to turn on.
he's very good with electronics. Like
Uh-huh.
she messaged me yesterday. She's pressing her garage door opener.
Which is just a remote. It has nothing to do with the car. Like
Yeah.
it's just the one that came when we bought the house. And it was
Yes.
on my visor, and I was holding the visor down and pushing the button, and it was turning the light on and off inside my car. It was not opening the garage door, but I literally was like recording it, and I was like, make this make sense. And I'd push the button and the light would come on in my car.
And I said,
That doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense. And the garage door wouldn't open.
I said, that's Isaiah talking to you right there.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Because they do. They mess things up. They like to hold like there was. Yeah, that is. Do you see that? Okay, so that's absolutely so. Today I had a weird thing. Thank you. Today I had a weird thing happen. I was doing my makeup and I was sitting in my chair. Stop it. That was you as well, wasn't it? I was sitting in my chair and I had my lip gloss sitting on the sink on the left. There was nothing around it. And I was sitting in my chair 2.5 feet away from it. And all of a sudden it started going like wiggling because it's a tube and it started wiggling. And I heard it thunk, 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 and I look. It's never happened before. I was like, what the fuck is that? What is that? And so I tried to debunk it, hit something, everything. We have granite countertops. Nothing moved. You couldn't blow it. So that was probably your son.
He flashes lights to music. So he loves
Yes.
so much. And there's one that's in the bathroom that his favorites, well, whenever it was like a week after he'd passed, there was one in the laundry room that we played Prince. We love Prince. And it was, I think Erotic City was playing. And he was flashing it and it was flashing to the music. It was crazy.
Yes, because your son passed in this manner, he's going to be around more strongly. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not with God. He is, but because he passed and he feels like there's a lot of unfinished business, he's going to be around y'all more. And so you're going to have these experiences more. But remember, like 5 or 6 years down the line, you won't have this as much. And it's because he will have helped Owen. You probably will. You'll probably see it until Owen's probably about 18, 19, like up in that area. And then it'll get a lot lighter. And you're going to be like, why did he leave? Is he gone? No, he's not gone. He's just in a higher vibrational state. And so they can't interact as easily with physical things.
So
when they
you
go
talk
there.
about that a lot. So is he like in the middle?
He's middle high. He's not depressed. He's not depressed. The way that he feels is because I think because y'all talk to him. I think because you ask him questions. I know that you're sad, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like this grief of like, oh my God, what could I have done different? How like you're not a prisoner to it, essentially. You're there to talk to your son, be with your son, love your son. So essentially you're healing him from the other side as well. All of y'all are doing this. It's when we completely ignore them and we say, oh my God, I'm so mad at you, I'm pissed at you, fuck you, and everybody holds on this resentment that it can hold them down lower. But y'all feel extremely light. And the other thing is that he's saving people like you, like your family, all of that. So that means that it raises him up into a higher vibrational state.
Chrissy did the same thing. She went in for her, they thought she had a blockage in her heart, and they went in.
Aneurysm?
They went in to took her back, and whenever she got out, same thing.
I told her, I said, I'm not even concerned because the exact same thing's going to happen to you. And they went in for the same test, same everything.
and
Yes,
couldn't
God.
find it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a God thing. That's your son thing. That's all that together, because that's what he's a part of. So don't think that he's stuck. He's not in a bad spot. He's okay. Remember, everything happens for a reason. And then I also want to let y'all know, because I'm going to have to run to my next session here in just a second. If you ever need me, if you ever have any questions or anything like that, email me, reach out to me. I'm here for you. And the other thing too is because I know who you are. I know who your friends are. I know what he feels like. I will probably get information from him over like the next 2 or 3 weeks. So if you get like a random email from, I mean, even a year, random email from me, that's what's going on. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
We love
So,
him.
yes.
oh, I will. Oh, he knows. He feels, remember, he is in your brain. Okay. So he hops in your brain. He plays with every thought that you think, everything that you write down, every I miss you, every I wish you were here. He feels every single one of those. And that's why you get goosebumps. Okay. And that's why you get that. So don't think that he can't hear you. He hears everything. And some of those thoughts are him. Okay.
Don't know how much this meant to me for moving me up.
I do.
This for us.
I do. I do. I love y'all. I get it. I was so excited for this session. I know. It's okay. Y'all are all beautiful. And if you ever need me, let me know. Okay. I got you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're welcome. Bye.